Alright, so let's talk about answer traffic. So what exactly is answer traffic? It's kind of a funky name, but answer traffic is the traffic that you're going to get from question and answer websites. So this is any referral traffic that comes from any of the popular answer websites such as Yahoo Answers. So how can you funnel as much of this traffic as possible to your website? So you'll want to create an account at all of the top answer websites and engage the community as much as possible. So for example here, Yahoo Answers is going to be one of the probably the top answer website that you want to engage with. So this website is gonna be probably the dominant driver of traffic for all of the answer websites. Now, in recent times, these websites have exploded in popularity. If you look at all the many different search queries, you'll see that the Yahoo Answers and many of the other answer websites are claiming the #1 spot in Google and the other top search engines. And so for some reason these websites have become extremely popular, and this is why you want to take advantage of these websites to drive traffic back to your website. So when you're answering questions on the answer websites, you want to provide answers that give extreme value to other users of the community. So you want to make sure that each time you answer a question on your topic, you want to answer it as thoroughly and you want to be as helpful as possible. And the reason why you want to do that is because the more helpful your question is, the more likely it's going to hold the top answer spot. So let's see. So for example here, if you type in something like, what is an iPhone? Yahoo Answers should bring up some questions here. So for example, it'll bring this up. This is for Australian, but that's okay. So for example, I need help jailbreaking my iPhone. So if you look here, this is a really recent question, but what will happen is there'll be a slot that's at the top here, and the more people that vote for your answer, the more likely it's going to show up in that top spot. And that's really important because that's going to drive more traffic to your website. So and when you're answering questions on these websites and you're being extremely helpful and you're writing really thought out answers, that's going to make the people that are reading them much more likely to click the link back to your website, or click your profile, or click something that's going to lead them back to your website. So it's important. You want to try to stay away from really simple one-sentence answers. If that's all it takes to answer a question, that's okay. But generally the longer and more thought out the answer is, the more likely that you're going to get the top answer spot, and that's going to drive more traffic back to your website. So you want to write full-length articles to answer questions that have been posted on the answer website and link to them. So another way that you can maximize the amount of traffic you get from these answer websites is to actually write an entire article answering the question on your website, and then link back to that article from the answer on the answer website. So for example, let's So if you click here, more results from answers.yahoo.com. So these are all different questions relating to digital photography. Now, in an earlier video, I discussed how you can actually use these to get article ideas for your website. You could take, for example, am I expecting too much from digital photography? You could take this question here and you could actually turn it into an entire article. You could write an answer to this question and turn it into an entire post and put it on your website. And that's going to give you leverage for when you come back to these answer websites to drive traffic to your own website. You will be able to actually, I mean, you don't want to link every single time, but every now and then you can drop in and you can link to your website or to the article on your website that answers this question in depth and thoroughly. And so that's going to give you a direct link back to your website, and it's going to drive a lot of visitors. So that's a great way to maximize the amount of traffic you get from these answer websites. So I already discussed writing really helpful content because that gives you the chance of getting the top answer slot. So let's look at some of the top answer websites to utilize. So we have answers.yahoo.com. So let's look at answers.com. So this is another answer website, and I labeled these, I put these here, these different websites in order from most popular to least popular. So that's important because the more popular the website is, the more traffic that they're going to be able to drive back to your own website. So this is answers.com, and this is another website just like Yahoo Answers, and it's going to be able to drive traffic back to your website. You're going to have to kind of learn a little bit about these websites when you sign up for them to understand how they work and how you can get the most out of them. But my goal here is to just give you a general overview to and kind of help you to understand why this traffic is so important and how easy it is to actually drive traffic from these websites. So now I just want to talk for a second about what good this traffic will do for you. So traffic from the answer websites is really, it has a really high conversion rate, and the reason for that is because most of the people that are going to land on your website from answers that you've posted on all of these different answer websites, these are going to be people who are coming from the search engines. And most people understand that the traffic from search engines, people searching for stuff in Google, for example, these people are going to be most likely to convert into some kind of, if you have pay-per-click advertising on your website, or if you have affiliate links, affiliate offers, or any other action you want these users to do, such as subscribe to your mailing list, people from search engines are just much more likely to do that. The conversion rate for search engine traffic is much higher for all different types of purposes than it is for other types of traffic. And so the traffic that you're going to be driving from these answer websites is really, really valuable. And so that's why you should really be investing a lot of time and effort into driving traffic to these websites. I'm going to put these top websites here under the video so that you can access them whenever. And just like with the forum, with driving forum traffic, you want to create a file that has your usernames and your passwords and everything for the accounts that you create at these websites. So and just like with forum traffic and all the other types of traffic, you want to make sure that you're posting quality responses. You never want to spam, and you want to try to drop as few links as possible to your website. You don't want to look like you're just trying to spam and self-promote all the time. You want to look like you're actually helping the community, and that's what you're actually going to be doing if you're actually helping the community. If that made sense. So yeah, so answer from these answer websites is extremely valuable. It's really easy to drive, and it can actually drive a lot of traffic to your website. So the more time you put in, just with any other traffic source, the more time you put in, the more traffic you're going to be able to drive from these websites. And the great thing about this traffic source is the fact that it's basically it's not dependent on the search engines. It's not dependent on Google or any particular search engine, because these websites are so trusted and so popular. It's a traffic source that is basically, it's kind of immune to algorithm updates and those types of problems. So that's why you want to invest a lot of time into this traffic source.